Welcome to the Auer Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you. Welcome back, everybody. We are podcasting yet again, but today we have with us Stephanie, the script queen.
Hello. Ooh.
Hello.
So, with that being said, Bryan, Stephanie, what's new?
Well, the podcast is still kind of new, and she's definitely the queen of many things. Not just podcasts. She's scripts, but podcasts. This is not her first podcast.
No, she's more awesome than the rest of us.
She could be the queen of podcasting too.
Well,
we could give her that.
It could happen.
Well, what do you got for us today? What's going on? Let's do this.
So today, with the script queen in the house, we're going to talk about scripts.
Okay.
So we're going to start this off with why scripts are important.
Why scripts are important? Great question. There's thousands of reasons why scripts are important. More importantly, why is it important to say the right thing? How about that?
Yeah.
To get the result you want, right? If you're going to be in sales, time is money. So being able to say the highest and most effective thing right off the bat is not only going to serve you, it's going to serve your clients. So why waste time trying to do it your way when there's already people who have done it, have made the money, and have shown you, hey, this is the best way to do it. So if you're entering a new industry and you don't know where to start and you think that you know better than everybody else, it's also good to take heed from people who have done it before, because the importance of scripts is the importance of saying the right thing the first time.
You know what I really liked about what you just said? And I never really thought about it this way, but it also is, it's saving time, and it's actually a courtesy to who you're on the phone with.
Very huge.
Because if you're just on the phone and you're kind of like, I'm calling because, that's not doing them a service.
Someone wants to call me. I mean, being in real estate, right? We call for sales, but we get called for sales all the time. And if you're going to sell to salespeople, you got to have your scripts down. So if somebody called me the other day, they're like, "Hey, Stephanie, good morning. Do you have a minute?" Nope. No, I don't. Thanks for asking. Bye. Yeah. No.
I never have a minute when they ask me that.
That's not the right script.
That's a bad script.
That's a bad script.
Yeah.
It's a good script on another day, but on that day, that wasn't the right script.
There's nothing presumptive about that at all. Well, hey, do you have a minute?
Well, he's selling to real estate agents, and so it's not. Do you have a minute as a follow-up call?
Yeah.
When you already have established a relationship with somebody, because you want to invite that you're going to. When you've already established a relationship, then you can say, do you have a minute? Because now you're inviting yourself into their space. But when you're in sales, to business to business sales, and you're calling a sales agent, my time is valuable, my time is money, and you should know that by talking to me like that. So I understand his approach, and it works sometimes, and it may have worked with the next person he called.
Yeah.
But it didn't work on me that day.
Well, especially when there's that awkward pause. Do you have a minute?
Well,
doesn't fly even on a second call. But if you say, do you have a minute? I wanted to talk to you about that email I just sent with all those photos and links.
Okay, exactly. That would have caught my difference. So on the way here, I got a phone call from a person and I started talking to them, but I really loved his cadence. Am I going to buy what he's selling? No. Do we have a better product in KV Core? Absolutely. But I also like market knowledge. And so I put it on, as I realized, I'm like, the only reason I'm talking to this guy is because I like the way he's talking.
Yeah.
I like this guy on the other end of the phone. And so I put it on speaker because Eric was in the car. We were in the car. And, yeah, he had a good rapport. His personality type. I'm like, this guy's an I. He's like I am.
Yeah.
Right? Because scripting is also, it's being the best you can the first time around to help your client or your consumer
prospect
get their needs met faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that.
So basically, it's a hack for a new agent learning.
For sure.
If you're handy on the script, you can fake at least a year or two out of what you really are.
Well, you can be a 1-month agent that knows your scripts and blow away a 10-year veteran.
Scripts is chess. It's chess. Chess has players, and you move the chess. Chess has. If you study chess, right? There's the plays. You do this, it does this, it does this. Yeah. It's 1, 2, 3. And people who play chess know the sequence of the different plays. And scripting is the same way. Verbiage with somebody else. The fact that we're humans and we get language is so fascinating. That takes me down another rabbit hole. But I've been a huge fan of scripts since day one. I was in retail. Somebody walks in your store. It's not, how are you today? It's, what can I help you find?
Yeah.
Right? In the restaurant, it's not, hi, guys and girls. It's good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Would you like to start with a lemonade or a margarita?
Yeah.
Like, right? So you give them two options, both of which they're okay with, but you're not just like, hey, would you guys want a water? Like, I'm working for tips. I want you to spend money.
You had me at margarita on that.
Yeah.
So we're talking about it, and
that's how it works. Because I said, would you like a lemonade or a margarita?
Yeah, you went like
and then
this.
you smile and nod, and it's a little NLP.
Yeah, so for those of you just listening on the podcast, she's shaking her head when she says that. So it does work.
Yeah.
But that's more of an in-person thing. And scripts work for belly to belly. They're just as important, but a lot of it we apply to sort of like the phone call.
Well, your language is 90%, 70% body language, even without seeing somebody. Smile, dial, make a pile. Stand up for more energy, right? Like everything you do.
Can you write that down? Smile, dial, make a pile.
I'm not gonna write that down, but what I am gonna do is turn that into a short.
Yeah, I mean, watch behind the scenes of a cartoon being made.
Yeah.
And the actors are very animated. They're not sitting in a chair being an animated character. They're an animated character being an animated character.
I've seen guys on YouTube doing voiceovers that actually act out the part as they're doing the voiceover because it helps them with the character.
Well, and like I think Robin Williams and the Genie, like a lot of his movements, like a lot of the Genie movements were designed after Robin Williams doing the voice recordings.
Yeah. Yep.
So it goes back to what we were talking about. So anatomies of scripts and the details. What makes that an important hack?
It can apply to everything. The anatomy of a script, which is really like a 3-part communication style for any situation. You want to acknowledge what's going on, bring it into its current status, and then future pace it to where you want to go. I mean, this works in conflict resolution, this works in closings, and this works in like objection handling. So, for example, I can appreciate that. I understand where you're coming from. You want to make a relatable statement to put you on the same page as the other person. And then, what I'm understanding is, or the way I'm hearing it is, or something like that, like just trying to level it out and then taking it to where you want to go. So that would mean that we could then do this. So like, I understand what you're saying, or I can appreciate what you're saying. What I understand. So example, a seller says, I don't want to list my house with you. I'm going to sell it myself. Right? And you would ask them, why is that? And they would say, well, because I don't think agents do anything and I want to make the most money.
Right.
Like, okay, I can appreciate that. I understand you want to net the most money. So if I could show you a way where I could help you net more money, would it make sense to sit down with me for 15 minutes if I can show you that? I mean, if I can't save you a nickel, don't hire me. I don't want to work for you.
Exactly.
Right? But if I can save you money, I want to know how I can do that.
Yeah, because a good script is a good script. That's going to get someone to say, yes, of course, but you still have to back it up, right? And that's, if you have those tools, it gives you even more power to nail the script. Because if you're selling something you really believe in and you have a good script to get you there, you're going to nail those scripts, right? Yeah, that's cool. That's
and it gives you the confidence of anticipating. A lot of the fear comes from not knowing what the next person's going to say.
Right.
So when you kind of have a tool that helps you I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is, and then you can toss it back out.
Right. Wow. That's actually just understanding the psychology of the person on the other end, regardless of who they are, how, what walk of life they're in, across the board. When you look at good scripts that really work, that are tried and true, they're tested against so many different people that if you nail them and you stick to them, you're going to get a very predictable outcome. And that's really back to your first point, is that you're saving time for everybody, right? Having a good script, a good predictable outcome, love it. You can save yourself a lot of time and actually make more piles, as you were talking about, by doing that.
Or like a golf swing, right? Like if your golf swing's just a few degrees off, you're going to be just a few degrees off. But if you can get that in, keep that shoulder in or something, then you're going to nail it down the fairway.
Are you acting like you know how to play golf right now?
I'm in golf mode right now. Yeah.
I'm horrible at golf, but I can appreciate your analogy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really good. That's good stuff. I have a question for you. On our team, we have access to phenomenal amounts of scripts that are for every different situation. And we have those, a lot of them are laid out in KV Core. Mm-hmm. If you don't know how to get those, I can show you how to get those. They're really cool. And you're probably already using a lot of them, but they're always updating them in there. Mm-hmm. You just literally go to the support tab and just type scripts and watch how much shows up. It's crazy.
Perfect.
Well, I've taken a lot of those, and we have them in our Google Drive, our Team Drive, things like that. Do you find yourself using the same 3 or 4 scripts all the time, or do you have a variety of ones that you sort of, you have I do a lot of videos, so I have a B-roll vault of all kinds of. Do you have that in your mind of, oh, you know what, I'm going to employ this script right now because I know so many, or do you just have 1 or 2 that you just tweak?
I get my scripts from all over the place. I guess when I got started with KW, and KW was really heavy on scripts.
Oh, yeah.
So I joined their Ignite, and I got a book of scripts on day 1. And then I joined a team, and I went to a Tom Ferry event for Sales Edge, and we learned how to script there. And that's probably where I learned how to script, as you say, because there's a methodology to imprinting it on the brain so that it comes out naturally, so that you're not worried about what you're going to say next.
Right.
And it's standing up straight, and it's reading the script really loud and really fast and throwing in all of your body language with it. And so I think Sales Edge by Tom Ferry was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life in terms of understanding the psychology of how to learn a script and be able to use it in the highest and best way.
Yeah.
Since then, I've bought Kevin Ward's Book of Yes. I love watching Loida Vasquez on YouTube. At one point, I had this amazing CD from Tom Ferry and David Kesey about seller objections.
Where is that CD?
It was in, I think, the Life by Design program.
Okay.
And it was a set of 8 CDs, and I honestly don't even know if I have it or where I might have had it, but I think I listened to that on repeat for probably 3 to 4 months at some point.
You probably lost all those with your CD player. Because we don't really do CD players anymore.
At the time, I was driving a car that had a CD player.
Oh my God.
And so it really worked for me.
Okay.
Between my Louise Hay affirmations and my Tom Ferry objection handlers, I was
So Tom Ferry was a huge influence in the amount of, in the just getting you really excited and fired up about scripts.
Yes, Tom Ferry.
But my question was, and I appreciate you answering this way, do you feel like you've learned 100 scripts and that's why I have this, my B-roll vault, right? I have all these that I can just draw from when needed, or do you feel like I just have actually these 3 or 4? I mean, look, we have Roy G. Biv, right?
Yes.
Which is the acronym for all the colors that make every color.
Yes.
So if you're a painter and these are the, 7 colors I have that I can make an infinite amount of colors out of, is that sort of how you view scripts? I have these 6 or 7 nuggets that I can tweak to accomplish this sales situation, or do you just really have a ton of different scripts memorized?
No, I don't have a ton of different scripts memorized. I have some specific communication skills that I've learned over the years, just in terms of personality types, differentiating, matching tone, pace, things like that. So as you noticed, I can talk at a very fast pace sometimes. And so if I get on the phone with someone who is more mellow and slow, it's painful to me, but it's not about me. So I can be, that's great. Thank you so much. I can appreciate that. Yeah. Not slow like that, but at a healthy slow pace, but mirror and matching. Yeah. Mirror and matching is a huge part of scripting.
How would you say that as well? How would you say that the easiest way to master that skill? Is it role playing? Is it talking to yourself?
Learning personality types. Taking a DISC personality profile, DISC. I think it's on the Tony Robbins website, or you can Google DISC profile. Yeah. Even if you pay for it, it's so worth it. It's so incredibly worth it to understand the driver, I'm a high I, whatever that is.
Yeah, you're high I, so am I. We're both the same. Yeah. I'm I, and shortly after that, I'm a D. So I'm an ID.
Okay.
That's probably what you are too.
My driver is very low.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had an ISC in my most recent.
Okay.
We're all above the 50% line.
Yep.
But in my adaptive, not my natural.
I've done the DISC test about 4 or 5 times to try to trick myself, and I'm always an ID. No matter, even if I know, I'm going to trick myself. I'm I'm going to get away from that I and see what happens. I can't get away from it.
No, I've taken it 10 years apart, and like the DSC kind of has, whatever fluctuated over 10 years, but that I is in the 99 percentile each time.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah.
But taking a disc profile, and I think understanding personality types is the other factor to mastering scripts.
Yeah, because it's helpful to know what you are, but it's more important to be able to identify the different types. Mm-hmm. So you know how to meet them where they're at.
Right, because the scripts are the words as a means to an end, but understanding the personality type is the energy that, 92% behind the words on the script.
Yeah.
A script is just 8% of the communication. It's just the 8%, which is 8 degrees, which can guide a ship to 2 different continents.
There is a lot of fluff that goes along with, a good script. Well, I shouldn't say fluff, but no, I'm going to take that back. There's no fluff. In fact, the scripts take the fluff out. What there is, though, is room, if you really know the scripts, there's room for building rapport. You can still do that. I was just telling Nathaniel, newest member of our team, that the more you know a script, the more it's not a script anymore. Mm-hmm. If you really, really, really know it, then it just becomes you. And that's when it becomes powerful.
That's where it's key. It's learning the script, knowing the script, and then adding your own flair to the script.
Mm-hmm. But not taking too much creative liberty with it, because then you destroy this. You destroy the research that goes behind a lot of the best scripts that we're using.
Very fine line.
There is a fine line. You can build rapport, but you can leave the script for a quick second just to help you get, but you're still going to come back to the script. You can leave it for a second to interact with them and show that you're human, but but that doesn't mean you've taken a left turn and squirreled on it. You come back to the script.
If we had to kind of talk about the final pieces or final wrap-up thoughts, keys to being successful with scripts.
Use them. Don't be afraid of them. Right? I would say
role play with other agents in your office. Use
Huge.
the objection handlers. Get confident in having the conversations, and it becomes a muscle memory for your mouth, even saying those words over and over and over again. It becomes a muscle memory.
Yeah.
So
I would like to ask this question: because the market has shifted so much in the last 6 months or so, do you find yourself having to change the script quite a bit? I mean,
all the time,
look,
the market shifts.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's the thing. You don't have to know 70 scripts at a time. Like for the last 2 years, nobody used a FSBO script. Mm-hmm. Nobody used an expired. Well, maybe, a few agents used the for sale by owner script or an expired script or but the last 2 years, the market was buyer's presentations and listing presentations.
Yeah.
And buyer's presentations, if you're pre-qualified.
Right.
Other than that, you didn't even have open house scripts in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So, some of those are, as the market always shifts, there's always going to be new scripts coming out. There's always going to be new financing opportunities.
Yeah.
There's always going to be new inventory. So there's always going to be a new way to communicate.
So that sounds overwhelming to me. I'm a brand new agent. I'm like, oh gosh, I got to learn these scripts. I'm already uncomfortable with that. Now I have to be constantly adapting. Am I ever going to get there? Am I ever going to be good at this? What would you say to a brand new agent that is watching or listening to this right now and feeling a little overwhelmed by that's a lot to learn and a lot of adapting? What would you say to them?
You're exactly where you're supposed to be. If you don't feel overwhelmed, then you're not. That's exactly what real estate is. Get comfortable with that feeling, because
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable?
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being overwhelmed. And this industry is whatever you want to make it. It's your career. You're self-employed. Nobody can tell you how to do it differently. That's the beautiful thing about being a self-employed female in America in 2022. Say what you want about the world, but when has there ever been an opportunity? I have the ability to make unlimited income if I just get out of my own way.
I would say to a new agent that what we're talking about today hopefully demystifies the whole thing. Learn some scripts. If you want scripts, reach out to us. We can give you for free some phenomenal scripts. But don't be afraid of them. Use them. Embrace them. Because what's going to happen is you're feeling overwhelmed now because you're feeling, I got to learn this. This is like acting, and I didn't get in this business to act. But scripts are like acting, right? I mean, they really are. You got to, there's a lot of aspects. I mean, when Brad Pitt sits down and he reads, the script, he's not going to say, oh man, these aren't my words. I can't do this. This is not, I would never say this.
You're right. When you say that, that reminds me how uncomfortable
because they're not your words.
Oh, but those KW scripts in the beginning were really clunky.
Yeah.
They were so clunky.
And they're not even using those anymore.
And that's not, it was so unnatural. It was so clunky. And it was almost a little, like, I think getting into it in 2014, where the market was coming out of a recession, some of those scripts were still a little slimy.
Yeah.
Some of them were still a little pushy.
Yeah.
Mike Ferry was one of the originals from back in the day, and when he started, his stuff was the stuff.
Yeah.
But coming into 2000, his stuff wasn't as palatable for today's agent, and thus Tom Ferry arises.
Right.
And with that, don't sleep on Patrick Ferry's YouTube. He has got gold nuggets on there. You think his brother's Tom, his dad is Mike, and that man is... I got the opportunity to work with him a short period of time as well. And when it comes to scripts and mindset and NLP and all of that,
Yeah, the Ferries are talented in this industry. It's incredible. So,
right. Even the older brother, he's like more mystical.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's very cool. So if they're demystified and you're sort of like in that place where you're not going to be, you got to remember that even actors, when they look at the script, they're not thinking, oh, these aren't my words, I can't do this. You have to look at those and go, yeah, these are not my words, but this is what I do to be successful as an actor. These are the words I'm going to use to be successful as a real estate agent. Don't be afraid of them. Use them, embrace them, be a pro. And once I internalized some scripts and I started using them and I saw how powerful they were, then it just became hella fun. It was so fun to take those calls and make those calls because I was in control of the conversation. When you are good at scripts, you never lose control of the conversation. So that's fun. That's a fun place to be.
Call to action. What I would tell a new agent if this is overwhelming, find a listing script. I found the Kevin Ward listing agreement presentation. I really liked his pattern of communication, the cadence, it all. And I typed it up and I printed it out, put it on my bathroom mirror with like my affirmations and my goals for the day.
That's a good hack. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely recommend taping stuff to your bathroom wall, bathroom mirror. Make your go wild with it.
Yeah.
That wraps it up for today.
Good stuff. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks so much. Wallpaper your bathroom with scripts. Woo!
And those other things we talked about.
That works too. Have a good day, guys.
Cheers.
Hey, wait, before you go, I wanted to quickly thank you for tuning in to the Auer Team Podcast. And whether you're listening on Facebook Live or you're tuning in on YouTube or maybe listening to a podcast, I wanted to just say, if you found any value in this, would you please take the time to like and subscribe? And if you leave a comment, that really helps the show as well. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the next one.